let's
Um,
focus on the sales call. What's your sales call structure?
Yeah, so I'll take you through my structure briefly. Normally, it's like the way that I've structured it. I start with obviously just setting the frame, like basic, two-way communication. I want them to open up. That's really my biggest objective to begin with. So it's not small talk. It's just my go-to is always where are you calling from, right? And then I find some way to connect with them on that, right? Whether it's Canada or Australia or wherever. That's usually where I'm advertising is the U.S., Canada, and Australia. So I'll have a brief conversation with them, just get them conversating with me. Then I dive into then I'll set the frame. I'll specify that, listen, normally we can go about this call one of two ways. I'm sure there's many questions that you might have, and obviously I tell you to come prepared with questions. So if you'd like to ask those questions first, I'm happy to knock those out of the way. If not, I have some information that I'll take you through, have some questions for you, and we can just dive into more information from there. So normally what I do is I put the ball in their court, and then I say, yeah, you can decide what you feel would be best for you, and then we'll go from there. Usually a lot of the time what I get is,
do they usually have questions?
I do get questions every now and again, but it's mostly just straight to the information.
Okay, they just tell you, okay, now you can go.
Yeah, basically they'll just be like, all right, yeah, honestly, man, I think I'd be good with just more information, and then maybe some questions will come up from there.
Okay, cool. And what do you do then?
In that case, yeah, I dive into my questions that I have. So it's more about my discovery process at that point. Like even in my program, I teach the three biggest points you're looking for: current situation, desired situation, financial qualification. So as long as I hit those 3 points in my discovery process, I feel like I'm in a good enough position to move towards kind of like bridging the gap, so to speak.
Could you list your questions to me real quick? Your first 5-7 questions.
So normally my first question is, again, let me say this. So I'm curious, what even had you looking into something like remote high ticket sales in the first place? What are you looking to get out of it? Ideally, I'm looking for goals. I'm looking for an understanding. I want to know what they're trying to do. Why exactly do you want to achieve that goal with something like remote sales? Like why specifically did this pique your interest? Why not drop shipping or Amazon FBA or whatever, right? So I get some clarity there. How long have you been wanting to achieve the goal? Is this a recent thing? Or have you been feeling this way for a long time? Normally, again, once I get some clarity on their current situation, a lot of the time what I get is 9-to-5ers. So I'll get people who feel like they're super capped on time or income or something along those lines. And I'll ask them, is there anything that you can change about your job? Could you get a promotion? Is there anything you could do to reach that financial goal without leaving the job or whatever? And they'll say, no, absolutely not, man. I hate my job so much. I need to get out of it. Right. So I just try to burn those bridges. And then normally I hit them with, sounds like you're pretty capped out at this point, man. I guess what's your plan in terms of getting into remote sales? Like, are you looking to, have like supplemental income? Like what's kind of the goal there? And they'll say, it's just, again, more exploration on goals. I'm trying to understand their desired situation. How much income are you even looking to add on per month in the first place? Again, add, supplement, replace. I want their financial goals. And I normally ask in terms of my financial qualification. Yeah. So let's say you were making, an additional $3,000 per month. Like where would that put you on a monthly basis, like with the job? And then I'll understand where they're at income wise. Oh yeah, I would make probably about $6,000 per month. Okay, well now I understand that they make $3,000 with their current job. And I say, John, let's say nothing changes. Like how long would it take to reach that $6,000 goal with your, your office job? Yeah, man, I don't think it could ever happen. No, I understand that, man. What would change if you could actually reach that goal in like a remote setting? What do you feel like that would do for you? Oh yeah, man, it would open up all these possibilities, blah, 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 blah. I have them expand on that. And then from there, it's about, okay, now I want to showcase here's your problem. Here's a solution, right? So I'm essentially moving towards my pitch. I'm kind of bridging the gap towards my pitch.
Okay. How long is your pitch?
I guess it kind of depends, man. I'd say maybe like 5 to 10 minutes, just because I'm taking them through information.
Yeah. And how long is your discovery process on average?
Maybe 10, 15 minutes.
Okay. All right. And how much are they talking and how much are you talking? The Fathom, it shows like talking time. And how much of it is them?
I would definitely say I'm probably talking more. I'm always trying to get them to open up, but I'm an over-explainer, man, and I think you probably can see that as well. I tend to over-explain quite a lot, so I do it in the same way when I sell as well.
Okay. So what is it? Like how much are you talking and how much are they talking? On average, just when you see the Fathom pop up, what is it usually saying?
I honestly, man, I don't use Fathom as well. That's another.
Oh, okay. Which one do you use? How do you record your calls?
I just record them on Zoom. So I'll use Zoom, and then Zoom has a recording feature, and then I'll just record them from there.
Okay, cool. I understand. But you're assuming you speak more than half of the time. That's what you're saying?
For sure, because it's definitely, I'm either answering questions or I'm walking them through more information, or I'm, explaining something or something along those lines, for sure.
Okay. I'm with you. Could you pitch me just for like 2 minutes, just so I can hear your pitch?
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, would you want me to
explain the thing? I obviously know what appointment setting is, so you can skip those parts. So if you just like pitch me and tell me how it looks like, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. So normally what I would do is I share my screen with you, and then I take you through a document. Like obviously you'd be viewing the document at the same time. Would you want me to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Let me just pull it up here. Give me 1 second.
When I was starting out, this was definitely limiting belief. I was 16 when I started my first business. Yeah. And then I had to jump on calls when I was 16, 17. And I had to choose between Zoom or Google Meet. Those were like the big ones. And I go into Zoom and it had me like create an account and shit. And I was like, fuck this. This is too technical for me. Because on Google Meet, you can just press start new meeting and you're good to go.
Right.
So yeah, I've stuck with it ever since.
I got you, man.
Yeah, okay, cool. I see your screen now.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, normally what I say is I'll start with, I guess, just the basics. I'll be like, yeah, so if you have any questions, definitely let me know. You're more than welcome to interrupt me at any time. But again, just to clarify, I run a company called AOS Digital Solutions, and through that, I run a small coaching program called AOS Academy. In terms of my company, what we do is we want to help you transition from your current situation into a remote sales career with clarity, structure, and in-depth support in 180 days or less, or your money back. And we do that by teaching you 3 of the most pivotal skills in this entire industry: appointment setting, remote triaging, and then high ticket closing. So one of the things that I like to specify as well is all of these skills here kind of fit under the category of, let's say, appointment setting. They just have a little bit different terminology. So like DM setting is obviously text-based. Remote triaging, you're normally hopping on like 10, 15 minutes, 10, 15-minute meetings, setting people. And then phone setting, you're speaking with people on phone calls. High ticket closing, on the other hand, is a little bit more sophisticated. So really the goal here is by the time that you actually go through a program like this and you work alongside me, by the time you actually get certified, you'll not only understand the mechanics of both setting and triaging, but then you also have the foundation to step into high ticket closing when you're ready, which is the highest earning role in the remote high ticket sales industry. And then I'll just say, like, any questions? And then normally, yeah, perfect. So then we'll move on to the next one here. And this is the live coaching and community accountability element of my program as well. Something that I try to tell nearly everybody I talk to is that, if information alone worked, every single person who watched a free video on how to become successful would be successful. And the truth is, most people aren't. And a big reason for that is because they lack accountability. Right? If you don't have accountability, you don't have somebody kind of propelling you forward. You don't have somebody to ask questions to, those sorts of things. So that's why inside of AOS Academy, I never try to leave you on your own necessarily. Like obviously you're going through course material on your own, you're doing things like that on your own. But again, because I do my coaching on an as needed basis, you can be plugged into live role plays really anytime. So like I said, if you want to run a couple mock calls per week, that's totally fine. In terms of group coaching, I'm much more one-to-one than anything else. I do offer some level of group coaching, like I do group calls and things like that. But obviously it's not super consistent for sure. It's mostly one-to-one. And then overall, just direct mentorships, or every roadblock that you have gets solved fast, right? So again, weekly live coaching calls, again, it's more or less on an as needed basis. So if that means 5 calls a week, that's fine. If that means 1 call a month, that's fine. Again, you get direct access to myself and my team for questions, answers, personal guidance. And then also you're just surrounded by like-minded individuals who are on the same journey, man. I have clients from all over the world. I got some in Australia, Canada, South Africa, the US. And yeah, really, man, the goal here is to just ensure that you don't feel stuck, right? Every question that you have gets answered quickly. That way you stay consistent, you stay motivated, and you never fall off or quit.
And what's pillar 3? Or are there more pillars?
Yeah, so I only have pillar 3, and then I just have a guarantee as well.
And that's your pitch?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's a good pitch. It's straight to the point. You're definitely targeting some of the bigger things that some beginners will like. The first one is like, will you actually teach me the skill? Yes, you are. Okay, but do I have support? Do I have someone to speak to? Yes, you will.
Sure.
Certification, hiring pipeline. Okay, but like, how do I get a job? Okay, you're gonna get a job this way. So you're targeting the three biggest things, and your guarantee is, I mean, it's a
Yeah.
fucking no-brainer of a guarantee.
For sure.
You literally give them their money back. No, you said that's what the guarantee
Yeah,
was.
if obviously as it's more or less like I have to judge it obviously as long as if I see them showing up and I see them actually putting the work in, then yes. But like I've had people, I have one student, and I won't name names, but he joined my program immediately and he went directly to the business pipeline for roles. And I said, look, man, you're not even certified. You haven't even gone through anything. So why are you trying to go for roles yet? Like we got to put some work in. And a couple months later, he's like, hey, Colin, I haven't been able to find a remote sales role. Can I have a refund? And I said, have you done anything that I've tried to help you with? Nothing. Like, so, obviously in that case, I'm not going to give a refund.
Obvious. And when you tell that to people, I mean, unless they're completely stupid and you don't want to even work with them either way, they usually understand that. Like, obviously, I will give you your money back if you do the things we say we're going to do and it still doesn't work, then it's my fault. But if you're just staring at a ceiling, obviously, that's not how life works. They're going to be like, yeah, I get that. Okay, cool. It's fine. You can stop sharing your screen.
Okay.
I have my
call.
answer. Cool. I'm confident now in like what your biggest bottleneck is. Just before I say that, do you want to fill me in on anything you haven't told me already? Like, what do you feel like is the biggest problem?
Yeah. Honestly, man, I think a big reason for it is maybe it's just the way that I'm trying to like present myself as well. Again, I try to sell from a very like relaxed standpoint, and a big reason for that is because I think sales reps have a very bad name in just society. Everybody hates sales reps because they're very pushy. They're very like they pressure people too much. And I don't like that. I just don't like to sell that way. I don't think it's a good way to sell, especially when you're working one-on-one with people. So I think in a lot of ways that might be like biting me in the ass, so to speak, because I'm being like too soft and not, I don't know if that makes any sense. And then what's happening is people are just kind of thinking they can walk all over me a little bit or just leave and, whatever the case is there. So I think honestly, it's definitely something with my sale, like something with the way I'm structuring my sales calls, how I'm doing my objection handling, things like that, that I think is for sure at least some level of a bottleneck.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you. And I have three, the biggest bottleneck in your business right now is definitely your sales call. And yeah, exactly, your sales call and the structure of these sales calls.
Okay.
There are three things in here that I could notice. Once, like the first one is you are talking too much.
Yeah.
You want to be talking between 15 to 25% maximum of a call, because they are the ones who need help. They are the ones who need to be explaining themselves why they want to stop, why they can't continue, etc., etc. It's not our call. We're there. We're the consultant. When you go to a doctor, he's not talking on you. He asks you a question, you reply, you explain. He asks a follow-up question, he presses on you. He says, does it hurt? You say yes or no. Does it hurt? Does it hurt? He's not there explaining, oh, so now I'm pressing on this organ and therefore it's because of this the reason. That would actually lower his authority, because you would be like, why does he feel like he has to explain himself every single time? Okay. So you're talking too much, which leads to you saying things that are just causing objections. It's not that talking is bad. Okay. First of all, the call is about them. That's why you're not supposed to talk so much. Second of all, when you're talking and giving them more information and talking more, guess what? Now they have more things to think about.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
If I say one thing to you, then you have one thing to think about. But if I tell you now on this call, even as like your consultant here, I give you 10 things to think about, how overwhelmed aren't you going to be?
Sure.
You're
Obviously, it's going to be
like, okay, I have to jump off this call and digest it all. I'm not even trying to sell you anything. It's just like, I just literally gave you 10 things. So that's also something we as coaches can't do. So I'm not going to sit here and also give you 10 things like, let's change this about your ad. Let's change this about your funnel. No, because all that is decent. It's looking great. The biggest thing, the one thing we have to focus on is your sales call.
Okay.
Yep. So first of all, talk less. Ask questions. Shut up. They talk.
I'm going to write these down as well, just so I can remember this.
Go for it. Obviously, I also have my Fathom in here, so you can always go back to it. But feel free to write it down if you feel like that's how you learn best, bro.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah. Ask question. Shut up. They talk. you say, okay, you acknowledge them in some brief way. If they just say, I hate my job, don't just go straight into the second question. That's quite a heavy
Sure.
response. Like someone just literally told you they hate their jobs or they're depressed. You can't just be like, okay, how long have you hated your job? Like, you have to be
Yeah.
human. Okay. You
Sure.
have to be like acknowledge, say, oh shit, bro, like, why do you hate it so much? Like, what
Right.
makes you hate it? And like, feel empathy, obviously.
Sure.
Yeah, so just acknowledge, ask next question. No need to be like, oh yeah, I also hated my job, and that's usually
Yeah, I've
the
been doing that.
horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
expand way too much. I go into my situation. I talk about my experiences with things,
Yeah.
and I just try to do that to seem more relatable. But like I said, I don't know if that's kind of
Yeah.
biting me in the
Yeah.
ass.
Do you know what people love?
I mean, people love a lot of things, man.
They love to talk about themselves, bro.
Sure.
People love themselves most.
Yeah.
We humans, we're super egoistical people. We love ourselves more than anything else. We love to talk about ourselves.
Sure.
And every time you talk about you, you're taking that away from them.
Right.
And
in all honesty, man,
have you read that book? It's super famous, like How to Win Friends and Influence People.
I have it right here on my shelf.
Yeah.
I just haven't read it
mean,
yet. No.
The number one way to make someone like you is to let them talk about themselves and just show that you can listen.
Yeah.
It's the number
Makes
one
sense.
way. Okay.
Okay.
I know it's an easy trap to fall into, like, oh, I'll make myself
Sure.
more relatable. Sure, maybe if you do it once or maybe twice during the call, it can be good.
Okay.
Or if you're asking like a super heavy question, for example, like you've just asked 2-3 questions and you've not said anything, just ask the questions to make it feel conversational. You can say like, I mean, the biggest reason for me was because I wanted to retire my mom, and I'm the oldest son, so therefore I had to do it, blah blah blah.
Sure.
Sure, you just said something about yourself. It was 2 sentences.
Right.
Just because you want to get a better answer from them. So like you used it strategically.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
Cool.
Sure.
So yeah, ask a question, shut up, let them talk, acknowledge, ask the next question.
Okay.
Talking too much, pillar number 1. Pillar number 2 is you need to be in discovery for longer. 10-15 minutes is not good enough. And not specifically, like, it's not that you want there, like, it's not that you want to be there for too long. It's not that. It's not necessarily about the time. It's also about the quality of like the questions you're asking.
Okay.
And if you're in discovery for 10-15 minutes, you're talking half of that time, it's not enough.
Getting a lot of information.
You're probably not getting much out of them, They probably don't feel emotional. They probably don't feel very much connected yet. Okay?
Okay.
So you can be in discovery for 15-20 minutes if they are the ones talking for 15-20 minutes.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Sure. No, absolutely.
Okay. That's a good benchmark. I will definitely I can give you my sales call framework as well in a Google Doc.
Okay.
So you can read it. That will be the easiest than me like trying to explain it to you. If I give it to you, you can read it. Feel free to ask me any questions afterwards.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate it.
So yeah, that I will definitely give you as well. Last one is exactly what you said. I have a closer.
Yeah.
When I got him from a friend of mine who is a sales coach, and I wanted someone who was like new, who was beginning, like starting out, because I wanted like to work with someone long term, blah blah blah, and I wanted to coach him, and I was fine with that. I didn't want like a closer to jump on there and then in my business.
Right.
So I had a new closer. He was a newbie, never been on an offer before, never closed. He was just learning sales. He had been in the program for like 2-3 months, and that was it. That was his sales experience.
Right.
And I started giving him calls every now and then, maybe 1, 2, 3 calls a week to get him started.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't close his first deal until like 3 or 4 months later.
Yeah.
The biggest reason to why he wasn't doing that, we noticed, was because he was too soft. He was trying to be too likable. He was trying to not push them, not be uncomfortable.
Sure.
But that was hurting him more than anything else. He was asking the right questions. But when he was getting close to the pain, he was backing out because he was like, oh no, I hope I don't make them uncomfortable here.
Sure.
But that's making 2 things. First of all, it's like you're losing out on deals.
Yeah.
Because you're losing trust. Have you seen Suits? You know Harvey Specter,
I've seen clips of it. Yeah, I've seen like
Yeah.
clips of it on my For You page and
Okay.
whatnot.
This Harvey Specter guy, the main character in the movie alongside Mike, they are lawyers.
Yeah.
And he speaks to his clients in a super authoritative way. He is a bitch to his clients sometimes. They're paying him
Yeah.
tens of thousands of dollars in a monthly retainer, according to
Mhm.
the series. And he's not trying to be nice to his clients. He's not trying to be nice when he's closing a deal, because
Yeah.
that will not get you anywhere. And instead, he's like, when he's being harsh and direct, he's actually, and asking the right questions, he's actually increasing his authority. And you can just see how the other person is like, okay, it's fine. I can let this person lead.
Right.
You know, he can hang up on
Sure.
you and no one will complain, because you
Right.
can just know, okay, now this guy is the expert. He can say and do whatever he wants. I trust him. But when we are not even like brave enough to ask the important questions, what do you think that signals to them?
How can I be how can I actually teach them something?
Yeah,
I
like,
think
is this guy, is he gonna be my coach? You know, like, is
Right.
he gonna, maybe they're not saying it, but humans do pick up on these things.
sure.
Okay.
Sure.
These are the biggest things that you're struggling with right now in your sales calls. If you
Okay.
talk 15 to 25% of your sales calls, okay, you ask more than you speak, and you don't feel the need and the urge to keep relating back to them and explaining things, that will give them less things to think about, which eliminates one of your biggest objections. Okay. 2, you're not getting deep enough into the pain points because you're trying to be nice.
Mhm.
People don't want to work with nice guys, or just, like, if that would be the case, they would go and work with their moms or, their grandmoms.
Sure.
They're the nicest people to them, probably,
Sure.
But why are they not paying them $2,000 to teach them about how to get sales? They need someone they can trust, right? For me to give you $2,000, I need to be able to trust you that, okay, this will actually have a good return on my investment.
Right.
Okay. But if I'm
Okay.
not going to be able to trust you if you're not able to even help me in this 30, 45-minute session.
Sure.
Okay.